in therapy? We got any therapy people here? You guys in therapy? You guys look like you all have like PPO, like excellent benefits. I'm in therapy. I'm actually a first-generation therapy goer. I think there should be a scholarship for people who are the first person in their family to go to therapy. I think it should be called the "What do I need therapy for? To go and to cry if my dog dies" scholarship. One name. My therapist recently asked me if depression runs in my family. I was like, lady, I was born in Eastern Europe. Like, just look at their faces. Like, we don't call it resting bitch face, like, we call it resting turmoil face. You know? My parents, they grew up in, like, communist Romania, and it wasn't, like, a millennial kind of communism, though. You know, they didn't, like, pick it up in college. But I wanted to, like, learn more about, like, how my parents grew up in communism, you know, so I watched this documentary about Romania's dictator. His name was Nicolae Ceausescu. Has anyone here heard of him? Yeah, all right. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so happy you guys know who he is. He's like a C-list dictator if you don't know who he is. C-list, just bottom of the barrel dictator. But I was watching the documentary, and heads up, if your nation's leader is ever speaking off a balcony instead of a podium, then your democracy's in trouble. But one thing that Nikolai liked to do during communism was he liked to check the harvest every year to make sure it was good quality. So he was like part dictator, part grocery store manager. That's how you know when times are tough, you know, when your country's dictator starts picking up side gigs. You know? It's like, hold up, why is Mussolini working the swing shift this Baskin Robbins? Right? Gosh, he gave me the frickin' mint chip. Dude, he's always messing up. He was like a really big fan of Kim Jong's son, I think. I don't know, one of them. He was a big fan of them and everything like they did in North Korea. He used to go visit, and when he'd go visit Kim Jong-il, he like kind of borrowed a lot of things that the North Koreans did. You'd see these videos and it'd be like thousands of singing and dancing women just like lined up along the streets to greet these dictators. And it's like, say what you will about oppressive regimes, but they always have amazing choreography. He also had, this is like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, he had, like Kim Jong's son or whatever, he had this like North Korean band memorize and sing a classic Romanian song to Nicolae Ceausescu when he visited. And a lot of Republicans think like being gay is unnatural, but they've clearly never seen an Asian person singing a Slavic song. That's way weirder, you guys. But my last boyfriend, he was an evangelical Christian. I used to go to church with him because I wanted to make the relationship work. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of those churches. It's just like sober karaoke. That's all it is. I think we were a weird couple, like me dating the evangelical. Like I think if we were a celebrity couple, I think he would have been Joel Osteen and I would have been Kanye West. I think he wanted to turn me into a sister wife, though. I'm going to be honest. I think he wanted to turn me into a sister wife. Do you guys remember that sister wife show on TLC? Okay, so if you haven't seen it, so it was this show, and it was this guy, he had like 3 wives, lived in a compound, and every night he'd migrate between his different wives' apartments. And I think that show should have been called Sisterhood of the Traveling Penis. It would have been a much better name. We went mountain biking together one time. We went out west in Montana. Got any Montana people here? I'm just going to continue shouting obscure things to you guys to see if you guys meet any of those criteria. But we went mountain biking out in Montana, and he didn't want to put a helmet on. He was kind of dumb, and I was like, you know, there's no use protecting what's inside there, so that's cool. He didn't want to put a helmet on, and then we saw this sign at the beginning of the trail that was like, warning, mountain lion on the loose. I was like, we should probably leave. He was like, don't worry. He's like, baby, I could absolutely destroy a mountain lion. This guy was a very creative gaslighter, by the way. And I was like, no, you can't. Like, what's this guy gonna do? Do like jujitsu on a mountain lion? It's crazy. And he was like, baby. He genuinely was like, baby, why don't you trust me? I was like, it's not you. I just don't trust this mountain lion. Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. So, here we are. You looking at the screen? Is there a game on there? You guys, about me. one of the last things I did, like, before the pandemic, last thing I did before the pandemic started, I'm good with words, was I went to Black Church with my neighbor named Richard. It was super fun. I had never concentrated that hard on my clapping before, though. I didn't want to be the weakest link, you know, because you know what they say, you're only as strong as your whitest clapper, you know? But during the service, the pastor was like, does anyone want us to pray for them? And my neighbor, he was like, she needs it. And I went up to the front of the church. I was really embarrassed, like, you know, like I was the only white girl, and I didn't want them to pray for me. I felt embarrassed. But I went up, and the pastor, he just held his hand up, and he's like, Lord, please pray for this depressed white woman. And then later on in the service, my neighbor was like, she does stand up. And I'm not afraid to admit it, but I did get some stage time in at this church. Because I'm a comedian first, Baptist second. So, all right, thank you very much.